Super dope.
Super dope.
Welcome into Dragon Ball Super Dope. My name is Kyle. Thank you for checking this out. This is
Brandon.
Yo, Brandon. Special
What up?
Special quarantine edition, baby.
It is.
You getting a little stir crazy?
I am not. Well, I had a book that was shipped on the 23rd that may get here tomorrow, so I'm a little bit anxious for that. But other than that, smooth sailing. I just downloaded Kakarot on PS4.
Oh, what'd you think?
So that took up a good portion of my day.
Waiting
today.
for it to download or actually playing it?
Playing it.
All right, cool.
It downloaded all good and fine yesterday, and then today was like the first kind of in-depth, the Saiyans just landed.
All right.
So
have you fought Nappa yet?
No, that should be as soon as I get on tomorrow.
Take your time. Like, go out, level up, explore.
Yeah.
Like, that's the parts that I find fun in that game. Not that I've had very much time to play it.
Hear me out, especially with like the little book you get that you write in. It reminds me of like a Pokemon kind of game, but instead of catching Pokemon, you're collecting those little Z balls, and you're like getting experience points by fighting the enemy.
Friend emblems.
Yeah. Soul emblems.
Soul
or
emblems.
Whatever.
Excuse me. Soul emblems of your friends' faces.
I kind of haven't figured out the full MO of this game yet, but I like it.
This game tries to be a lot of things to a lot of people, but
it is. Please tell me it does go beyond the Saiyan saga, though.
Yeah, it's all of Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Wicked, because...
Yeah. I'm still at the point right now where I've beaten Vegeta, and I'm Gohan currently getting ready to go to Planet Namek. I have not hit the checkpoint to, like, initiate the ship launch.
Yeah.
Because I was leveling up. But also, I've played it maybe 4 times since I purchased it. By the way, I purchased it the day it came out. That's how busy my life's been. Shout out Minivan Dan. Security Dan has just been yelling at me about this game constantly. So I'm sure that he's very happy that you're playing it.
Yeah.
Now. Maybe he'll start to yell at you about it.
It was a whim purchase. But after you and I got talking about the manga and stuff, I downloaded Shonen Jump and Kakarot at the same time.
Hell yeah. And that's what we're going to talk about today. Latest manga chapter for Dragon Ball Super, chapter 58.
Yeah.
Interesting, except not super interesting. I mean, there's a lot to dive into there. But my question for you before we do get to the manga is, why Kakarot and not fighters?
Because you had tipped me off that it was more of a kind of RPG, that it was kind of mostly a offline game.
Yep.
So I was looking for something that's going to hold my attention beyond the kind of initial limitations of, say, 5 or 6 stages. So, like, I'm coming off of Call of Duty World War II, Battlefield 5, where they're pretty lengthy missions, but especially with Battlefield 5, once you finish those 4 or 5 missions, that's pretty much as far as you can go unless you go online. It's mostly an online-built game. And I'm too much of a cheapskate and too lazy to get online. I don't play enough to, to take advantage of it.
Well, so you almost hit it for me just now is I don't take the game seriously enough to warrant playing online, especially with not so much Kakarot. Obviously, it's not a game you play online, but with fighters specifically, what turned me off about that game, and I guess they've like entirely retooled it. I have not played it. I tried to pop it into my Xbox the other day. Disc burn. The disc won't read anymore. Yeah, Jesus. My Xbox still reads pretty much any other disc, no problem.
Just not that one.
Just not that one. So,
damn.
I haven't gotten to check it out. I think I might bite the bullet and download it, but it's still like really expensive on the Xbox store. But that whole idea of like I don't care enough about it like on a serious basis to play it online, and when I'd fight kids online, they'd be like, "You need to learn how to play," either because I got my ass whooped, or I beat them in a fashion that they'd consider cheap.
Yeah.
And they'd get pissed enough to message me and be like, "You fucking suck, asshole." I'm like, dude,
Jesus.
If I'm so terrible and I'm suck so bad, why couldn't you beat me, dickface?
Yeah.
Fuck out of here. You're just mad because I wouldn't let you land a fucking infinite combo. And that's what so much of what Dragon Ball FighterZ was to me initially, and I hated it. And it's been a long time since I've tried to play it.
Like, I think I just get frustrated just mashing all the buttons and trying, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, whereas you piqued my interest with Kakarot being more of an RPG, and I kind of dig it. It's a lot more mellow. It's kind of a cool explore the world kind of thing.
And you get kind of rewarded for exploring the game. That I feel too. Like there's, I mean, a big selling point to this game, and I don't know how much of a selling point it actually is because whatever. But Akira Toriyama helped to like write additional backstories and like kind of additional pieces of continuity, or like this is what this is what Launch was up to while this was going on in the Saiyan Saga. Like Toriyama had a hand in that, so that's really interesting. It's not from like a canon perspective, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's canon because Toriyama." Fuck out of here. Who cares?
Yeah.
But it's still interesting that that's kind of like, in my opinion, the best of rewards for exploring in that game is seeing those little additional cool stories and little what if scenarios. You know, that's
like
kind of
where
the
fun is. I already ran into Nam. That was cool.
Nam.
And like
Vietnam.
I like it because it's chill. It's not, you know, your kind of similar style fighting game. It's something a lot different. It's like I said, it's kind of like an exploratory Pokemon kind of game where like you gain experience as you go along, and you know, well, if I really want to give the bad guy or the boss fight a good whooping, I'm going to have to build up my experience first. So it kind of, you know, it makes you go after everything.
Yeah. Definitely makes you have to understand like many different like systems within the game to be able to successfully play it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. I'm still trying to learn what everything means.
And when I go back to try to play it, I'm sure I'll have to relearn the things that I had learned and then learn the things that I didn't actually learn yet.
Exactly. So, you know, it's fun, and, you know, I love playing Battlefront 2 every day or whatever, but after a while you kind of start, you know, the missions or the limited arcade for one player kind of gets to be the same, you know. So this is something a little bit different.
Very true. So let's we did get a voicemail in, very relevant to our subject today. So I wanted to make sure that we played that for the people first. Let's take a listen.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Mac from Texas. Things aren't too crazy around here yet. I'm in small town Texas, so nobody's been quarantined in our area. We've got the strict restrictions, you know, no gatherings of more than 10 and so on. But the reason why I called was I want to know your thoughts on the new chapter of the Dragon Ball Super manga. Goku shows up just in the nick of time, like he always does. And he, by the end of it, he accesses that base form of Ultra Instinct, just like that, out of nowhere. But Vegeta is still nowhere to be found. Do you think Goku's going to take out Moro? Or do you think that Vegeta's going to show up and our boy's finally going to get the glory? Let me know what you think. I'll be listening. I love the show, guys. Thanks so much for all you do. Stay awesome. Stay safe. Don't forget to wash your hands. Peace.
All right. So first of all, thank you, Mac, for giving us a call. If you want to give us a call, 401-213-9596. What I like about Mac's voicemail is a couple things. Quarantine stuff. I think it's worth noting that Mac's voicemail is not recent. So we're sitting here today on Friday, April the 3rd, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Mac's voicemail is from March the 26th. It's been a bit since we've done a Dragon Ball episode. I've been wanting to do this manga podcast for a fucking minute. It's just quarantine life, man. So given that there has been some time since, what's that, like 8 days since Mac gave us a call, I hope, Mac, that you're currently experiencing some level of lockdown stuff. I know that some of our Southern states have been slow to react. I'm looking at you, fucking Georgia, you crazy sons of bitches. The governor of Georgia, I mean, not to get political on your ass, but it's questionable that he should even be the governor. Like, you could make a case that Stacey Abrams should be in that office right now, but then the audacity of that dude to be like, we didn't know about asymptomatic transmission until yesterday. Motherfucker, the CDC is in the state of Georgia. Give me some more Republican talking points, you stupid dick. All right, that's all I'll say about that. Anyway, hope everything is well with you now, Mac, in Texas. I hope you're safe. I hope you're healthy. It's a little crazy, man. Looking at New York, looking at New Jersey, looking at other parts of the country. I'm real worried to see what happens to Florida. I hope all my friends in Florida. I know that we have a strong listener base in Florida. Hope y'all in Florida are staying safe.
Stay safe, Florida.
So that being said, I do want to jump into the manga and the super chapter. Quarantine life is pretty much going okay, I think, for us. I mean, I'm still employed. I'm not really sure what Brandon's situation is. I don't know how much you may or may not want to talk about it.
So far, I'm employed. I have to take care of something at work on Monday, but
yeah,
that's where I am right now.
Yeah.
My second job, I'm unemployed, so I can't really collect that because at the mansions.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
I mean, we're both still lucky at this point. I don't know. My job feels kind of pointless, to be completely honest with you. Like, my job felt pointless before this thing. So now that it's happening, my job feels doubly pointless. But also this is literally the worst time for me to have this happen in terms of my musician business and all that work.
Gig number 3 is lost tomorrow.
Yeah, I stopped counting. I got to 7 and I stopped counting.
Yeah, that's probably smart.
Yeah. I lost 7 gigs in the course of 2 weeks or 10 days or something like that. Like, literally like the most concentrated number of gigs I have, because it's fucking St. Patrick's Day week.
Yeah.
I was booked the Saturday before. I was booked the Saturday and Friday after. I was booked the Tuesday. I was booked the yeah. So outside of that stuff, I realized that that's like very surface level stuff and whatever. Some income lost, whatever. I just want, I hope everybody is out there being healthy and being smart and
being safe. Yeah.
Being safe, man. But all right, it's all a long way to get around to Mac's final thing. Brandon, you just downloaded the Shonen Jump app and you've been reading the Dragon Ball, at least this Moro arc, which I asked you, I'm like, oh, you went all the way back to the first Moro chapter. When was that?
That was December 20th of 2018.
And like when you told me the date, I like remembered recording the podcast vaguely where I was and how I felt immediately after. It's such an awkward chapter because the first half of it is just the wrap up of the Tournament of Power, and it ends very suddenly.
A quick scene of Broly.
Yeah, they allude to it. They allude to it, and then it's just like, meh. All right, now this Moro thing's happening.
Yeah.
So we know that it's post Broly, but as an arc, now that you have it. As more, you didn't get to revisit a couple of the chapters, but
I'm missing 50 through 55. Yeah.
All right, so a decent chunk in there, but you're recent on the most 3, and now you've got a good basis at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, I know the beginning and the bridge.
So, tell me what you think, man. What do you like? What do you enjoy? What's the deal? What's Brandon's
I'm really
review?
interested in this arc. I think it's kind of something. Recycled, Cell and Boo could absorb people's energy, whatnot. But, like, Moro is so much more sinister. And, there's a lot of Jocko action. I like Jocko. He's a great character.
Jocko's very central to this entire arc.
Yeah, he really matters. So that's pretty cool. And I really like that New Namek's, kind of involved in it, too. That's not something that we talk about very much since the creation of it. It's mentioned every now and then. So it's pretty cool that they bring that back. I'm interested to see where it goes. I'm lucky that I have 15 or so chapters to go through. as opposed to, everyone who's been reading it up to the minute where you have to wait a month after you read 16, 20 pages.
I almost wish that I had the luxury, not the luxury, obviously I could have waited if I'd chosen to, but for me, it's like the second a translation drops on the 20th, I read it immediately. No matter what I'm doing, pretty much, I read it immediately because I'm a fucking Dragon Ball junkie since I was 5 years old.
It's like Christmas. Now you have to wait a whole nother month before the next one comes out.
Yeah, but like in the interim, I often forget a lot of the finer details of respective chapters. So like yesterday, before we had our, we'll call it a test podcast. If you want to know what I mean, you can go to patreon.com/Dragon Ball Super Dope and check that out. It's a good hour of me and Brandon. Well, it's mostly just me dissolving into a panic, a cabin fever-ish kind of panic, and Brandon helping talk me through that, but also just us bitching about politics, general life stuff, work stuff. It's we actually do game plan a significant amount of stuff for the podcast and Super Dope coming up in the future months. So check it out, patreon.com/Dragon Ball Super Dope. Want to thank our current patrons: Brian Heber, Brian Melchiori, Bridget Myers, Caleb, Minnie Van Dan, Lil Baby Jiren, aka also Dan, David Cheers, Jacob Perez, Kelly, Reese Andriotis, and the legend grows, Timmy Jones. That's our current patron list. If you want to get added and start getting shout outs on the regular and, start hanging out maybe via social distancing, via digital platforms like Patreon or Twitch and or whatever, go check out the Patreon. So it's all along the way to say, I forget a lot of the finer details, but yesterday I read 57 and 58. Yeah. And I kind of wish I had the time to go back and read. I mean, I guess I kind of do. 42, like the entire thing as an entire arc, Yeah. Because I do feel like it's a little bit more enjoyable. Like 57 is a very Piccolo and Gohan heavy chapter. Yeah. And you as a Gohan and Piccolo fanboy. Yeah. I gave you I feel like that's how I kind of got you to read the chapters. Yeah. I was like, hey man, that's some great Gohan action at 57. And I went back and saw it again and I'm like, Jesus, man, this is some quality stuff.
No, it's great. I really, the character that can not only steal people's powers and abilities, but load them up into his brain so that he can turn into that fighter.
Yeah, 7-3. Yeah, scary stuff, man.
And I thought that was pretty neat and fresh. It's not like Boo where he just takes on that.
Yeah, it's like an old idea recycled with a new caveat attached to it. You can store only 3 of these powers, but you gotta switch between, It's kind of like a new twist on an old take.
Absolutely. And, I don't know how many new unique styles of fighters they can create, but this was at least, I think, a new alternative or a different idea.
Yeah, and not only that, but I like a lot of the scenes that revolve around characters who are the galactic criminals or whatever who have escaped from jail. They're just kind of run-of-the-mill guys, but you get to see a heavy focus on one of those run-of-the-mill guys who now has the opportunity to rub elbows with Moro and get a little bit of Moro's juice in Sagambo.
Or even the fact that the old Z fighters are still important, Tien and Chaozu, Yamcha, and they're actually kicking butt. They're doing pretty good.
Well, that's one of my favorite things about 57 is that it is very Piccolo Gohan heavy, but some of the other characters get some shine as well. I think the one thing in 57 that I wanted to point out to you,
sure,
because 56 you and I reviewed, 57 I did with Jimmy. That's always a fucking crapshoot. But in 57 they point out it's when Master Roshi's fighting those ladies. And Krillin goes to assist him for a second. And Krillin calls out the Tournament of Power nonsense of hey, what's up, man? You accessed some Ultra Instinct-like fighting patterns when you were fighting those ladies, or fighting Jiren, rather. Why can't you use it to fight these ladies right now? And Toyotaro takes the opportunity to sort of not only revert back to I'm a fucking pervert trope for Roshi, which is annoying in and of itself, but take something that I personally didn't like about the Tournament of Power. I I mean, I thought it was an interesting way to try to go about it. It didn't really check out with me.
Yeah.
But to take that moment to be like, oh, I don't have a pure heart because, ladies give me boners and that's why I can't get Ultra Instinct. I didn't really, it's one thing that genuinely bothered me at 57, but I do, like you said, appreciate the fact that the love and the attention is spread out amongst the cast. Chaozu even gets some opportunity to
he
throw
gets
some
a
insults.
kill in with the robot.
Yeah, that's good.
Like that's cool because it's not just like, oh, here's Piccolo, he's gonna get his ass whooped, Vegeta's gonna save the day, Goku's gonna save the day. They're taking the time to like give the little guys a little what up.
So 57, Sagambo gets this power from Moro, and we're gonna see Gohan and Piccolo step up to a fraction of Moro's power with this intergalactic criminal as the vessel. All right, that's the play here. Then the androids show up, 17 and 18, and even the four of them, and I think Krillin combined. I have this shot in my mind of like 5 people collectively trying to stop him in his tracks.
It's at least the 4, yeah.
Yeah. And all right, the point's gotten across. Gohan and Piccolo and the androids, the 4 of them not being able to combine to be able to fight even a fraction of Moro's power.
Yeah.
All right, I get it. You've made your point. It's time for the big guns. And in the reverse of typical Dragon Ball fashion, they reverse it. It's not Vegeta to be the next guy up to fight the big bad and Goku to swoop in for the eventual W. Goku's on the scene first before Vegeta is. Really no mention of Vegeta. We don't see Vegeta. I don't think in either chapter. Maybe we see a little bit of Vegeta at the beginning of 57, but I could be wrong.
There's maybe one Yardrat picture, and that's it.
Yeah, really not much mention of him. But the question with Vegeta is, not only is he not at the forefront of everybody's mind right now, because, everyone thinks Goku's going to be the one who, after his training with Miras, he's going to be the one to show up and save the day. So everyone's money's on Goku. We haven't seen Vegeta in almost 2 full chapters. We don't really have a clear line of sight as to what the technique is going to be that he's going to learn to be able to defeat Moro from the Yardrats. We know from the Yardrats. What the fuck did that sound like? We were talking about it before we hit record. We do imagine that he'll have to learn instant transmission to be able to get back to Earth in time to be able to do anything with this new technique.
Like, he's got to get their stat.
And I'm sure he'll show up in a real dramatic Vegeta fashion. Like, a la Return of Cooler when he shows up
Moro
and kicks Metacooler, or fucking the Harudegarn movie where he shows up and yells at Harudegarn about blowing up his house, about how he's just tired and wants to come home after a training mission and wants to, relax in his house, and Harudegarn fucked that up because he stepped on it.
Well, and he also, in one of the early chapters, said, to Goku, when we start wishing shit back, we got to make sure that the Namekians are taken care of first. Like, he's developed a soft spot for the Namekians, even though, he wrecks a majority of them.
Very good catch, Brandon. But I'm sure if you or me were to push Vegeta on that, he'd say, listen, dickhead, I just want to make sure that we have a second set of Dragon Balls around just in case anything bad goes down. And then he'd smack us in the face and say,
I don't know. He was getting mushy in those early chapters.
Yeah, he is a little sentimental these days. But we have really no line of sight as to what kind of technique that he's going to come back with. But I do imagine he'll have to learn instant transmission. He'll have a dope-ass line being like, what's up, Kakarot, you dummy? Yeah, you're right. What took you so long on learning instant transmission to get back from Earth the last time?
Yeah.
Those Yardratians did not speak. They started speaking very highly of you until they got a glimpse of me, baby. Like, I can't wait for that smack talk to happen. So
it would be so great if they did, like, when Goku shows up in his Yardrat clothes. Vegeta, look at those clothes. Like, it'd be so hot.
Where'd you get those clothes?
Yeah, where'd you get those? Oh, no, he said that to Piccolo. Oh, shit, I messed up.
Well, and this time Vegeta's response could be something to instead of Piccolo's line of like, I got them from your wife or whatever.
Yeah, your wife gave them to me.
From your closet. Vegeta could be like, those dumb aliens you're friends with. Vegeta will be a lot more comedic about it, I'm sure. So
I love it.
This is the thing. Goku shows up first. We don't know what Vegeta is going to show up with. Obviously, that's going to be the big surprise.
Or even when Vegeta is going to show up.
And that has everybody wondering. Even before this chapter, came out, like obviously at the end of 57, Goku shows up and everyone's like, "Oh my God, Goku's here first! This is crazy!" And that's when the theorizing began. Like, "Oh my God, does this mean Vegeta's going to show up at the 11th hour? Is he
finally going to get the W?"
Yeah. And then I read, and I was totally on board with that line of thinking and playing out my own little weirdo fanfics in my brain. I was so pumped. And then 58 came out and I read it and I was like, "Oh no. Oh no. They're about to do my boy so dirty." And I really, 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 really hope I'm wrong on this.
How's it going to play out?
So at the end of this chapter, Moro gives energy to Sakambo for the first time versus Gohan v Piccolo. Goku shows up and gives him an invisible ass whooping, by the way, which I think is very interesting. Piccolo and Gohan can't even keep track of where they are in the field. The only person
Jocko
who can is Jocko.
Yeah.
It's like they've kind of gone out of their way to be like, all right, this is how Jocko's going to serve his purpose now. He's going to be the commentator for this entire thing. But Goku's pretty confident in this chapter when he shows up. And I always appreciate overconfident Goku. But I think he's still very aware of what Moro's capable of. But this leads to Moro giving Sagambo energy a second and then eventually a third time.
A lethal overdose.
Before the third time happens, Goku actually kind of does like a really little underhanded thing and like tries to teleport behind Moro and like take a swipe at him, and Moro just blocks it. Like no questions asked. Like not today, boy. Gives more energy to Sagambo. He's like, dude, your boy's about to explode.
Yeah.
And then, sure enough, explodes. See you later, Sagambo. You had a stupid name anyway. I don't even enjoy saying it. Sagam, bye-bye. That's not a very good one. I should cut that.
Sagambo Gigante.
What the fuck does that mean?
Big Sagambo.
Okay. So Goku sort of alludes to, well, I like that Goku kind of stops and asks, like, he's your friend, isn't he?
Yeah.
And Moro's like, nah, he's my crony, man. He like works for me. It's my
just like Cranberry.
Yeah. Except what?
Cranberry was the dude in Frieza's army that breaks out of jail and pilots Moro's ship in the early chapters.
Oh, is that his name?
Yeah, wow. And then after he kills all the Namekians and he gets the last Dragon Ball, Moro does him in.
This is why I'm glad you went back and read those early chapters, because I haven't read those chapters since they came out, probably. Isn't it
December of 2018.
Isn't it so hard to believe that we've got, what, now, a full 16 months? Is that right?
12, 15, yeah, 16 is April,
yeah. So a full 16 chapters of Dragon Ball Super now as like a sort of runway for the return of the anime, and still no announcement. I realize Corona might dick that up even further than it's already been dicked. And it wasn't dicked by any kind of YouTube announcements by some kind of influential content creators, in case that's what you were thinking I was alluding to. Definitely wasn't that.
If there's stuff in the works, man, it's like,
here's what I'm thinking.
Star Wars secret.
Here's what I'm thinking. Like 16 chapters, you could easily look at the majority of those 16 chapters and divvy them up into probably 2, maybe 3 episodes in some cases.
That's what I'm afraid of.
And I think that they just want to give themselves enough of a story buffer. I don't know, man. I can't wait for it to return. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. Unless they're using the Moro arc to like close out the series and be like, and that's how Moro killed the planet Earth, and that's the end of Son Goku. Unless like that 1% chance comes to fruition.
And, I mean, maybe he pops up in the couple pages, or the couple chapters I haven't read. But where's Zeno-sama?
Yeah, that's a good point too. We really haven't seen or heard from Zeno much in this chapter. We have heard from the Grand Priest in terms of Miras and Whis and all that, and that relationship.
Yeah. And I mean, we saw Whis and Beerus, just about as Namek's about to like blow up. And Beerus is like having a fishing contest with a fish.
Oh, wow, man. So you definitely need to read 50 through 55 or whatever, because that's the most of the story that focuses on Miras and what his role is, which I kind of already blew it for you in terms of spoilers.
That's okay. I'll probably finish it tonight before I go to bed.
Yeah, basically,
if not tomorrow.
He's an angel attendant in training. Whis' little, like, de facto little brother, you know? I think that's how he refers to him.
Yeah.
And after he trains with Goku in the Room of Spirit and Time, that it's not quite the Room of Spirit and Time, but whatever.
The angel version.
Whatever the fuck it is. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Whis shows up and he's like, hey, what the fuck? This isn't neutral. You're trending awfully close to good. You might want to cut that out.
Yeah.
Also, this haircut was your choice, and you look ridiculous. So you need to read
business in the front, party in the back.
My point is, they focus such a big chunk of this chapter. Like, I feel like they have to come back around and be involved somehow in the resolution. I'd hope.
Yeah.
Like, Miras's only role can't be, oh, you showed up and trained with Goku for half a chapter off screen, mostly. Like,
and if you think about it, Resurrection F and at least the Black Goku saga, you know, Whis and Beerus kind of intervene.
Yeah, we had to have godly interference to be able to resolve it.
Yeah,
I'd like for that to not have to happen, but angel in training interference, like that's not quite the same. But whatever. There's been so many things recycled through, I think, tastefully in this arc, but Toyotaro has done or borrowed from a lot of early Dragon Ball and getting this thing done.
Yeah.
Including having the Namekians involved. I could make a whole thing about that. I won't do it off the top of my head because I sound like a jerk, but maybe after I reread manga or something. But
another episode one of these days we could talk about is, when was the last time finding the Dragon Balls was like the focus?
You're right. It's been a minute.
Yeah. I want to say, just off the top of my head, the Namekian, Frieza saga was like the last time it was a big deal.
Well, they use the Namekian Dragon Balls, I think, in the Buu saga to wish everybody back on Earth, right?
But I'm not talking about, like, using them.
Oh, you mean, like, in terms of, like, an actual piece of the plot. Got it.
What Dragon Ball's core story was about.
Yeah.
Finding the Dragon Balls.
Yeah. But it does recycle the plot device of, villains looking for the Dragon Balls for this reason. Whatever. I'm not bashing on it for that. This is my fear, okay? And we're kind of nearing the end of this manga chapter and kind of getting close to the end of this episode here, this podcast here. Here's my fear, all right? Going into 58, I was of the opinion, okay, this is Vegeta's time to shine.
Yep.
But there are there are a lot of things that Toyotaro has borrowed from previous Dragon Ball. What's bothered me about it is he, for whatever reason, has chosen to borrow quite a bit from Resurrection of F, Katsu no F. Arguably one of the lowest points in Dragon Ball Super's history, which, is only a few years old. So why are you going back to the...
Yeah.
Why are you going back to that so quickly? Whatever. Without getting too far into that, there was a moment in Fukatsu no F where you're like, yo, not only is Vegeta going to get the win here, but it makes sense for Vegeta to get the win here.
Yeah.
I feel like they're setting us up for a similar kind of moment with how they end Chapter 58 today. So Moro and Goku square up. Moro's like, yo, why don't you show me some of that stuff? I can smell that shit on you or whatever.
Yeah.
And Goku immediately, alluding to Mac's voicemail that kicked off the entire episode here, alluding to his message that he immediately taps into UI, Omen, or Sign.
Yep.
The first version of Ultra Instinct. So no silver hair. It's actually the form that, if they'd kept that as like the form's ultimate design, I'd have been fine with it. I like it a lot more than the silver hair one. Like, no contest. But he taps into it immediately at will. And you're like, oh no. Okay. So it's not perfected, but it's something, but he hit it at will. It's controlled, exactly. Now what's going to happen? I'm torn a little bit because a part of me likes that they're incorporating this design and this transformation, however you want to classify it. I'm just happy to see the design. I like it. Aesthetically pleasing to me. It's like taking a base form Goku and like dressing it up in a way where it's like you can tell that he's more powerful, but he still basically looks like base form Goku. That's what I like about it.
Kind of like SS Red. It's being used more in the manga.
Yeah, well, not even that. Just the fact that there's like no crazy transformation that's marked by like a different hair design or a different hair color.
Yeah.
You know, like there's a blue aura to it, and there's a difference in the eyes with the silver eyes, but that's it.
So kind of like Mystic Gohan then.
Yeah, kind of, sort of. But here's my fear now is now that that's a thing that Goku's come to the table with prepared, right?
Yeah.
And we know that Vegeta has yet to enter the battlefield. And we know that Goku has yet still to be able to achieve a perfected. Well, actually, I should say we don't know it for a fact that he's like not able to achieve a perfected Ultra Instinct. We're going with the assumption that he is unable to achieve it. Otherwise, you think he would have just transformed into it immediately, right?
Yeah.
Maybe not knowing our Goku, but you know, whatever. He goes to Omen, so we have the assumption that he's eventually going to be able to or going to have to go up to the perfected Ultra Instinct. Here's how I think it'll play out. Goku steps to Moro right now at the end of 58, going into 59 with this UI Omen. Yep. Puts on a great defensive display. Moro can't lay a finger on him. Eventually, Moro kind of figures it out. He himself, I would argue, probably borders on the line of a god of some type, considering that he consumes entire planets.
Yeah.
But maybe he too is able to access some kind of form of the Ultra Instinct thing or some level to be able to let him to hit Goku, and Goku starts to get his ass whooped. Okay.
Yep.
At which point Vegeta shows up, makes the tremendously heroic save that we talked about earlier.
Yep.
Vegeta gets his shine on, whoops him ass with the new things that he's learned from the Yard Rats, and then I don't know, Moro maybe overcomes that as well, and then Goku
Moro reaches his fullest power, yeah.
And then Goku taps into the perfected Ultra Instinct, comes in and saves the day again, and our boy Vegeta gets another cock tease. That is
Vegeta
what I'm
gets
fearful
seriously
of.
wrecked, and that's what helps put Goku into perfect form.
That's honestly what I think is going to happen, and I'm pissed that they've set it up this way.
Every fucking time.
But it's almost a guarantee to me.
Bummer.
Yeah.
That's a major bummer.
Anything that you do want to see before this arc wraps up? Maybe that, I mean, you've read so much more of the manga today than I read in the last 6 months.
6 months. I might even go back into Tournament of Power.
Tournament of Power is done differently, but some things I like more, some things I like a lot less. But
yeah,
it's interesting. It's interesting to compare them. Like I said, dude, Dragon Ball Super is a very interesting time in Dragon Ball, in that there was no manga preceding it.
Yeah,
like the TV staff was freeballing it in terms of stories a lot of the
times.
Yeah. You know, with some minor story suggestion.
It's reversed positions.
Yeah, exactly, and I think that was an untenable thing for them to be able to keep up with.
Yeah.
So the only suggestion was to end the series and let the manga get 40, 50, 60, 80, I don't know, however many episodes, 100 episodes worth of material ahead. So 16 chapters, let's say we subdivide that by 3. What's that? 30, 3 times 16. 48?
It's like 5.1, 5.3, something like that. Yeah.
3 times 16? Wait, what did I say?
3 times 16. I thought you, sorry.
Yeah, if it's 16 chapters, 3 episodes each, roughly. That's 48, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Something around there, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's 48. So, 48 is just about a year worth of time. I don't know. I feel like when it does come back, it'll have to be the thing that comes back in a seasonal kind of style. It can't be 52 episodes a year.
Yeah.
But we're getting there, folks. I mean, it's yet to see how coronavirus may or may not impact. I know that Japan as a country seemingly is doing, not that they actually had a pretty poor initial response to the virus, but
they quickly stepped up.
Yeah, they got their act together pretty quickly. I know in America, comic book companies are starting to send out the pencils down emails to comic book artists and stuff, which is it's fucking heartbreaking. My point in mentioning that is I don't think Dragon Ball's, at least manga production, is going to be slowed at all by this. I don't imagine the anime schedule, if and when it gets started, would be slowed or delayed.
Yeah.
I think it's soon, guys. I mean, Tokyo Olympics are getting canceled or moved to 2021.
They're moved to 2021, yeah.
Maybe we get a January start. I don't know. I'd love a January start at this point.
Or even just a sliver of information.
I just want an announcement. That's all I want.
Yeah.
I don't care if they say we'll be back in 24 months. I just want them to tell me that.
Yeah, it's
selfishly.
a sign of hope, something to look forward to.
Yeah.
I get it.
It's frustrating, but in the meantime, it seems like we've got a handful of chapters still until the Moro arc reaches its finale. I would guess at least like 5 or 6. Vegeta, like I said, Goku needs to get his ass whooped next chapter. Vegeta needs to save him. Maybe the chapter after that, after
it'll probably take us to the fall of the year, hopefully.
Yeah, I could see it I could see it again wrapping. Like we know that it started in December 2018, as you said at the top. I could see it wrapping by December 2020, very easily.
Yeah.
Huh. All right, man. Well, this is the manga chapter. In case you guys didn't know, we're recording this on Friday, April the 3rd. Tomorrow is Brandon's birthday.
It is indeed.
Happy birthday, Brandon.
Thanks.
How old are you going to be? Like 58?
62.
62. Finally. Start collecting on Social Security?
I hope so.
I think they bumped it to 65 a few years back. You might want to double check. Yeah.
I'm going to be getting some AARP stuff soon.
Hell yeah. I'm surprised you haven't gotten it already. But I say that to say happy birthday, but also
thank you.
We are, in order to celebrate, about to talk about a Godzilla movie.
Hell yeah.
So this should be up. Hopefully, if all things go well, this will be a nice little weekend treat for y'all in quarantine, so you can catch up and have something to listen to on Saturday or Sunday. And the Godzilla stuff, Godzilla raids again, because we did record a podcast on it a couple of years ago that got lost to the annals of poor sound and wires and stuff. That'll be up early in the week, so make sure you check that out if you got to the end here. We appreciate you. Make sure you rate and subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all the places. Ratings on Apple Podcasts mean the world to us, helps other people find the show. Follow us on Instagram at DBSuperDope, Twitter at DBSuperDope1. Send us an email, dbsuperdope@gmail.com. Leave us a voicemail. Thank you again, Mac, for giving us a call. And kicking off this episode for us, 401-213-9596. Let us know what you think of the current manga stuff going on for Dragon Ball. Maybe you got some theories or thoughts on My Hero Academia. Maybe you just need somebody to bitch to in the middle of quarantine. I'm really not against getting those voicemails at this point in time right now either. I think, listen, the meltdown that I mentioned earlier in the podcast about, I mean, obviously it turned into a Patreon plug because when don't I turn things into Patreon plugs, but thank God I had Brandon to talk to yesterday, man. It helps to talk to your friends, and sometimes it helps to just listen to podcasts or music or whatever. So if you want to hear me in a very annoyed, shitty place in the midst of this quarantine madness, patreon.com/Dragon Ball Superdope, and that's gonna do it. How does the show end? It's Dragon Ball. It's Brandon remembered the song before I did.